All right, we're back, and we're going to get stuck into more Finnish action here, and we'll probably continue talking about some of your ex-teammates as well. But Sunny is officially no longer a part of ENCE. Now, we know for a while there it was rumored that the whole Flusher Sunny situation with automatic might be happening. Now, more recent times, Flusher said maybe that's not happening, and now we've heard maybe it's happening again with the two of them. Striker, is there anything more on that we've heard? Have I covered that off?
Pretty much you've covered it. I think the only thing that Sunny has confirmed himself was a Finnish podcast, I think it was, where he said that, yeah, it's kind of still on, that they're still trying to build something with Flusher, and that there might be another Finnish player in that project, but that's about the extent of the information that he gave. As far as I know, I obviously don't speak Finnish. I didn't see it. I'm just kind of going from what people have told me or what has been reported and stuff. So yeah, that's about it.
Okay. So Alexi, with Sunny, obviously didn't have the opportunity when you were there on ENCE, right? But he's a player that I'm sure that you're well aware of as a countryman. Now, with him and no longer being a part of ENCE and him doing some in-game leadership and then not really finding his form, what do you think the future holds for him? Do you think he still has the ability to play at the top level?
I do think so, yes. Just as long as he plays the role he played in most sports. Because I know for a fact it was different. Maybe he tried to get back on it on some time in ENCE. But obviously when he took the leader role, I'm not sure if it was leader for all of the end period. Maybe he was. But it's definitely not the same role he was having in most sports, at least as far as I know. Not sure if he might have been leading at most sports.
I think he was leading most sports at like 1 or 2 events or something, but
yes,
not consistently, I think.
Exactly. And the way he played was a bit more different also. But I do think as long as he has the same role, let's say he had in most sports, I don't think there will be anything to stop him, because individually he's a guy who grinds a lot and he puts a lot of hours in, so it's not like he's gonna get super rusty or anything. So I think it's more of the mindset, the teammates, and the like, just having this passion of grinding, but you're actually grinding because you love the game, right? I do think he has all the keys.
All right.
Can you think of any players, like, do any, obviously you might know more than we do, but are there any players that kind of pop into your head that could fit with those two, Sunny and Flusher? We were kind of thinking about, obviously it kind of needs like a newer generation of players to join them, maybe like some up-and-comers.
I'm gonna say I'm not gonna say too many comments about it. Maybe I know a thing or two, but considering the experience, I think some talent is obvious, right? If you would build this team, right, and it would be Sunny and Flusher, you would most likely put a talent in there, or someone that could learn a thing from these guys and could potentially be really good in 6 months, right?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess that's one we have to wait and see. We're not quite sure how that whole project's going to be shaping up. I was going to ask a question about like Sergey and Yampy, but I guess that's pretty much, they're done for the time being, unless there's something we've missed. Yampy's over to Valorant, and Sergey is meant to be on a military service. I wonder how that's going with the whole Rona situation at the moment. Probably not the easiest.
It's not the easiest, because I think it's you're there for a couple weeks always, and then you're a week off or something. So
Okay.
it's the norm is that you might sometimes be like 2 weeks in, but usually it's 1 week with a couple days break in between, or 2 days or 1 day, depending on what the situation is. But right now, at least at some point, it was that's like 3 weeks and then 1 week off, something like this. So
Was
it's
it
maybe a bit tougher.
with Sergey going to like actually leaving the team and saying I'd rather go do military service? Was that something like with the person that you know him to be? Did that come as a shock to you, or is he the type of guy who you could see going and doing something like that?
Actually, was the type of guy I could see. When I heard of it, I wasn't like
Shocked.
Yeah, I wasn't shocked. I was like, this is something that could happen, because I played with him back in Habu, and he took a break. He took a competitive break from all of DS
That's
until
right. Yeah.
Enes was built again. And it's just the way he is. I just feel like it could be definitely something he just decides to do. So, because
Okay.
he's kind of a guy, like, if he doesn't care, then he doesn't care. Like, some people say I don't care, they actually care, right? But Sergey is different. It's like if he doesn't care, he doesn't do it.
All right. Yeah, I guess that's why he always looked like he was so bloody ice cold, the kid. He never well, he smiled a couple of times. It's like JKS occasionally, as you catch a rare glimpse every now and again. All right. Do you have any other Finnish stuff here, Striker? Have we I think we've got most of it.
Not really, no.
Yeah, all right. Now we're going to move on talking about HenryG. This is news that kind of popped into my feed, and I didn't really look into it too much, Striker. So what am I missing here?
I mean, what
What's
do you want to
HenryG?
know? I guess.
Yeah, it's just
they got bought out. They got bought out by a Norwegian company.
Oh,
Yeah.
And that's they got some investment from I don't know what's to go into PUBG, and then they wanted to spread into CS as well, and so they just solved it by acquiring HenryG, right?
They're still HenryG though, right? They haven't changed
they're
name.
not changing names or anything like that. It's still, I think it's still like the CEO, the original CEO of HenryG is still like a, I don't know what his title is, but some sort of a leadership position in that organization still. So I guess it's not really much of a change apart from like new owners.
All right. Well, this is pretty easy news to skim over, I suppose. That's like second or third page of the newspaper. We'll just keep going. We'll talk about the return of Apex to Vitality. Now, this one here, Alexi, when you saw him, get the statement come out and just how long it was from Vitality, and then now he's back so quickly, did you think it was going to be that quick of a turnaround?
Well, it's kind of funny because I believe it was day after we played practice and Apex was playing. I was like, what?
Well, he wasn't even playing a match on the day, I think.
Yeah,
like the first match in Blast, I think the first match in Blast he played, and then it came like 2 days.
Yeah, but it's like
2 hours, whatever.
Yeah, but it's obvious that it was serious. I'm not underlining that even a bit, but I just know it wasn't like he just came online the day they played against us and he just played, right? So he played a bit before that, but all I'm saying is there was a reason behind it. I don't know what. I don't want to say anything, but all I just know is that it was just a short break and maybe something he really needed. So I don't know what's behind that, and I don't want to get involved with that one.
Yeah, I think it's just obvious that it was kind of like something sudden happening that he needed to deal with, and that's it. So
for sure, something. Yeah,
that's everything points to that, and nothing else being really behind it.
And I'm glad because I think its Vitality is just so weird without him. I love it. Love seeing him at the cameras.
Yeah, what do you make of him being such like an emotional guy like that? Do you think it's cool to see someone when they're so invested?
I definitely think it's cool, and I think Apex once told me something about he hears it's like I'm one of the only ones that kind of likes the fact that he's like this, because some people are saying like he's over the top or he's this and that, too emotional. But I remember back in Assembly, the Finnish LAN, like 2015 or something, 15 or something, Apex was playing, and I was a complete noob back then, and I just admired everyone who was playing the pro games. And bro, the way he played, I said this on another interview. It was with Dorin, but the way he speaks the game with his hands, after he's dead, he's something completely different, what you've not seen. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, well, like I just want to be involved with something like this, And I guess as a teammate on LAN, it's really obviously not. I know for a fact some people might not in the team like that someone gets tilted too easily. I'm not saying he does, but I know for a fact that I might get tilted at times and I might tilt my teammate off because of it. So it's obviously not good. But there is the other side where you're playing really well and someone is like this next to you. Let's say you haven't been woken up already, but this guy is going to wake you up, right?
Yeah, I think because Apex is of the old breed, right? That's what you're saying, and that's how it used to be back when I was doing it as well. It used to just be standing up, yelling like a bunch of dumb gorillas, right? Like it used to be ridiculous stuff. I remember one of my early LANs, it was like 2013 MSI beta, and the setup was you were facing your opponent, right? Like they're on the desk on the side.
Yeah.
And we're versing like Chinese teams, and we're winning these rounds, and we're hammering these guys, and we're standing up, we're yelling at them and shit. Like obviously friendly bands and nothing too crazy, but a lot of that is lost. And that's why I like the Blast setup. Did you guys like the Blast setup where you could like see this is ancient history now, but where you had that was fun?
That was fun. Yeah, that was really fun. I mean, there was a lot of banter included, but I could see a team like taking it really serious, and just like not even having a banter, just like trash talking them kinda. I think it's sick the way they did it, and I think they will do it at the future too.
Yeah, I hope they do, because there's like a Senfus story that goes around. Yeah, that one. We need to get Senfus on just to tell that story. I don't know if you've heard this one,
I was literally behind him when he was doing it.
It was so good. Do you want to tell it, Striker?
Well, yeah, it was just like, I think it was against Kenny's team, which was
the French.
Recursive at the time, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't remember if he was playing with.
Maybe it was Titan.
It was one of the. I think it might have been Titan, yeah, because Kaylee was there as well. I feel like, so it might have been Titan. But yeah, he was just basically, they were playing against each other. This was Complexity, I think, at the time still.
Yeah.
And Senfus was just standing up and yelling at Kenny to look into his eyes and shit like that. It was just so much fun, man, to look at that stuff.
There was a whole thing he was doing. It was Clan Mystic, and GMX was on there with him. He's going, GMX, look into my eyes, GMX, and just like yelling shit as the fucking game's going like that. It was some really funny shit, and they wouldn't look at him.
What I wanted to say was, like, I'm not sure is this actually true, but like from watching some of the YouTube videos where you see live footage, you could assume it might be true. I've heard these talks obviously being around Natu, Lurpis, these guys, Natu, Sunny, everyone. It's like back then on 1.6 they played some tournament and they just decided not to join TeamSpeak.
Okay.
They yelled the comms, you know. They're playing next to each other. They have headphones that are not like this, that block everything. They had like some headphones back then. Some, I don't remember what was the norm back then, but anyhow, you could hear something through, and they just played with without TeamSpeak, just yelling everything, completely throwing off the enemy team, and like, I guess hyping up your own team, because like, everyone has to yell literally to hear anything. And I guess I could, someone in the Finnish community could confirm this if it's actually true, and if it's not, at least on the YouTube clips and some things I've seen, is like they are completely yelling. So even though if you would be on TeamSpeak, people would be yelling still.
Yeah, it used to be.
I know this happened with. I think this happened with Taz, where they just like, I don't know, lost connection to the TeamSpeak server.
Yeah,
I think in the middle of a round, and they just started yelling at each other because that's the only way that they could hear each other. It was pretty funny.
All right, this has been a nice one. Let's move it to